one of the Culture Vannin's 40th anniversary grants, which was way back in January 22. And you fill the forms in, send them off, and of course you don't know if you're going to get the grant or what's going to happen. But I was lucky to be granted one of the grants. So then you have to make it. You have to do the bits so it all becomes real. So what I wanted to do was produce something that people could realise how lucky we are in the Isle of Man with the amazing marine life, but also to draw attention to the fragility of the ecosystem, particularly the marine ecosystem. Basking sharks are an endangered species. We're very lucky to have sightings around the island, although there are less and less sightings. But I've surrounded the basking shark with plankton, and I don't know if everybody, I'm sure not everybody in the world realises how important plankton are for our survival, because no plankton, no fish, no food for millions of people, and also they supply up to half of the oxygen that we breathe. So when sea temperatures are rising, it's bad news for plankton. So if I can get a few people to think more about the ocean and how we need to help it, then hopefully I'll have done my job. Now I need to thank.
Those are excellent opening remarks, and everybody actually wants to see what's behind here rather than hearing from me. But before Valentine's Day in 2022, Kimmi, along with a great number of other people, actually accepted the challenge that Culture Vannin set to use some of our £40,000 to celebrate 40 years of Culture Vannin. So thank you very much for doing that. I for one am really, really looking forward to seeing it. In the same way that Kimmi talked about plankton being the bottom of the food chain, or the top of the food chain, which ended up with basking sharks, I think Culture Vannin likes to think of itself as supporting artists to actually make sure that our island is complete, because without artists, an island is very little, in the same way that without heritage rail, an island is very little, and in the same way that without the environment, an island is very little, and the language and the music and everything else that Culture Vannin supports and has been supporting for 40 years. So thank you very much to everybody, but particularly on this occasion to Kimmi for taking advantage of our opportunity. I used to have a conflict of interest on this event, because I would have been announcing the spending of Culture Vannin's money on a Department of Infrastructure site, and I'm so glad that all of you got here by plane and by road, because that doesn't happen very, but I had a chat with the Chief Minister, and he decided to stop me having the conflict of interest, so I could come here solely on behalf of Culture Vannin to actually appreciate what you've done for us and for the island. But I did just speak to the airport director, and I do know that once the difficulties around making sure that this piece fitted in with the mobility of passengers and the safety of the airport, I think every issue was solved. So I know the airport director and his staff, some of whom you mentioned, would all like also to thank you and Culture Vannin for adding to the ambience of the airport in a very important way. So thank you everybody, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we've all got to see. Back to you.
Brace yourselves, everyone.